I thought I'd just give you a very quick intro. I know some of you know me, some of you also don't. So just to give you a quick highlight, my early years in my career was as a police officer. I spent 6 years on the front line in Brighton, moved across to Guernsey, became their training officer, taught law and procedure, broke my knee, moved back to England, bought a business coaching franchise, got trained, and the rest is history. I've been a business coach for about 13 years. The first 10 years were as part of the largest business coaching franchise globally. And for the past 3 years, I've been working independently through UK Growth Coach, where I basically built all the tools and resources myself and used the experience I had from working with about 250 odd businesses before that. I also am a director in 2 marketing agencies, Growth by Design being a member, obviously, of this group, and MJS Media based over in Hastings. And I've also written 3 business books. So the first business, Battleships, was 2012, focuses on the psychology of sales and why people buy. The second, Growing by Design, is a marketing strategy development book. And the third one, which was released in February this year, is all about business growth and it's called The Missing Business Instructions. What I'm going to do today is just run through some of the concepts from that last book and hopefully give you some useful pointers so that you know where you're trying to get to and why it would be good to get there. So very simply, in business on your journey, at some point you will have started out. And generally speaking, what happens when you get started is you're still working it out. You're applying a lot of time. You don't necessarily have a lot of clients and the earning potential at that point is pretty low. Hopefully, relatively quickly, you shift into what I'll call self-employed, where you are working within your own company. It is your job. It works okay because you know what you're doing from your time in employment and you can make a reasonable income from that. The real step change happens, however, when you get into what I call the scaling business sector. This is where actually the impact of the business goes beyond your own hours or your own capability. So building a team, having other people developing aspects of your company, being able to undertake the tasks and the project delivery beyond you, and that can generate you quite a lot of money in that scale. It can be through one site or many, and generally speaking, it's relatively repeatable. The next step up is what I call owner independence. And that's basically where the company isn't reliant upon you. You can call up on Monday, not come in for 6 months, and the business will continue to run. It'll probably continue to grow, and they won't have to call you wherever you are to sort out a payment or to manage a staffing issue or to deal with something, because it doesn't matter that you're not there. And generally speaking, that's going to give you a decent passive income to enjoy, but it also still is owned by you in whole or in part. The final part is exit, and basically what we're trying to do here is sell the business wholly or partially to generate a capital payout rather than just an earning from the operations ongoing payout. And the question I had just to start with is, where is your business on that progression scale right now? And where are you trying to get to? On the journey, this image that I'm just showing you here is actually the front cover of the book that I released, and it just demonstrates kind of the challenge of going from startup, trying to eventually get to the exit path and finish your business journey there. But there are a number of challenges on that journey you're going to come across, and also some opportunities within it. Bearing in mind, I've got about 7 minutes. I'm going to run through this quick smart, but suffice to say, I'm happy to have a one-to-one with any of you and go into a lot more depth on any of these challenges you're facing. So the first area that business owners go through is what I call the startup maze. And it's the difference between running a job and running a business. Yeah, most people that set out in business are good at what they do. They're a good plumber, a good accountant, a good lawyer, whatever the industry is, but they haven't necessarily got all of the skills for business ownership. And one of the challenges in that is, whilst operationally they may know what they're doing, they may not know how to get a client, how to bill a client, how to get paid by somebody that isn't paying them. All of those challenges of what to do, who to sell it to, how to deliver it, how to get paid, and all the other things are quite confusing. And the key behind that is to create a plan and have some goals. Just stop, give it thought, get some expert advice, make sure you're covering the elements of operations, sales, marketing, finance, team, all the elements that go into it, and make sure you understand what you're trying to build. I saw Rob Thomas is on the call today, and I'm sure with his architectural background, he'd agree it's not easy to build a house without a plan. And it's the same with a business. So the second area is the cash flow desert. which basically is when you're up and running, but not everybody is yet paying you. You haven't necessarily won enough clients. The overheads are bigger than the income currently, or even you're making more on paper, but the money hasn't arrived at the bank because people aren't paying you or are paying you late. The challenge of cash flow largely comes down to what we'll call cash gap, the difference between when you have to pay out for things and when you receive money from the operations you fulfill. And understanding the gap between those two things and how to change it is really important for managing and improving your cash flow. The third area, marketing, it is a minefield. I run 2 marketing agencies. I see day in, day out business owners who have spent a fortune to achieve very little, and we're the first time that they've actually understood what marketing is about or what it should be achieving. Too much marketing, in my opinion, is what I'll say vanity marketing, trying to attract a like for the sake of being liked, as opposed to trying to attract further orders and improvements on your business performance. So understanding marketing and understanding what the elements of it are, building the plan, applying your budget, making sure it's performing, really important. And my tip for that is to understand that marketing is much more than just lead generation. Nearly every marketing company I've ever come across starts out with, do you need more leads? We can help you do it, but it's not the key element. There are actually stages to lead generation, client management, and generating what I call ripple marketing for influence further along, all of which are important. The fourth area, great to have inquiries, better to have orders. So mastering sales is really important. If you've never had any training, now is the time to go and get it. It makes a massive difference to your effectiveness, not just in conversion, but also in the value of clients that you actually achieve, and also actually what their expectations are of the operations team behind it. So tip number 4, I've stolen this one from Jeffrey Gitomer, the author of the Sales Bible. People buy for their reasons, not yours. So find out theirs first. And if you basically do the enough questions to uncover what your customer really wants, then you're going to be a lot better to provide a solution suggestion to them than if you just start from what you can do. Number 5 then is safely navigating the staffing seas. I think every business owner at some point will say they've had staffing challenges. And the key for me is hire slow and fire fast. There's a huge amount of management and leadership and various things when you actually have that team member. But the key thing on the front end is hire slow. Have a decent recruitment process. Make sure that you're recruiting on more than a CV and more than a generic interview. Make sure there are some proper skills tests, some assessments of competency and personality, as well as the technical skill set you might be looking for. And if they aren't working out, manage it well, manage it professionally, but manage them out. Number 6, avoiding drowning in the deep lake of systemization. At some point, you will want someone else to do something in your business other than you. And the easiest way of doing that is to take it out of your head, document it down, whether that's onto paper or onto an online systems tool, but basically get it out of your head, get it documented sufficiently well that someone other than you can do it the same way with the same outcome as if you did it yourself. And the same is true for your team if you've got people that actually are the only person in your company that can currently do X, Y, or Z. So make sure that you're systemizing, and the best time to start is now, not when you're trying to exit the business along the line. And the key reason behind that is if you don't build systems, your business can't be self-reliant. It will be reliant upon you until you die or decide that actually you don't want it anymore. So Indiana Jones trying to free up the golden idol of profit. Many of you may remember what he had to do was put the sandbag onto the pressure plate and didn't quite get it right, and the boulder chased him all the way out. Very scary stuff. Extracting profit from your company is really quite straightforward, but you have to do it legally. You can't take profit out unless you've actually made it. You can't pay dividends unless you've made the profit. Understanding how your money is made, understanding actually the levers that drive profit and knowing how to extract it tax efficiently is important. So there are 9 levers for profit. If you don't know what they are, please ask. I have a free booklet that I'm happy to send to you, which will guide you through what they are. And around those 9 levers, you build strategy, and that helps you grow your company. So the final aspect, as you go through your business journey, at some point you will want to exit. Unfortunately, too many people look at exit well after the point when they should have been looking at how to exit. And so it becomes pressured, or it requires another 5 years that they, by that point, don't really want to give. So actually planning your exit well ahead of time, working out whether that's going to be sold to another person, whether you're trying to target acquisitions or whether you're trying to do a management buyout, however you want it to happen, try and have a target in mind so that you know what you're trying to build. Because if you don't actually know what you're trying to do, the chance of it happening is slim. And the problem is most people who come and say, I want to exit my business, mean now, but actually have to put in another few years work, whether it's for someone else still working their company they bought, or whether it's actually changing it so it's attractive to be bought in the first place. So those are the 8 areas. I know I've run through that very fast, but I was given 10 minutes and a strict brief. It was to be 10 minutes. So in terms of that, hopefully it's fired your imagination a bit. Hopefully it's got you thinking about some of the challenges and where you're at on your business journey. If you'd like to have a one-to-one, be delighted to sit down and discuss your business specifically with you. You can book an appointment straight into my diary via Calendly. All my other contact details are all on the screen, and I've also put them in the chat. Ladies and gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time. Look forward to speaking more with you.